Greetings fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hivehound, and a slightly longer video today. I'm hoping I get enough time to get the 3 out that I've planned. So it's a lot of hard work, very busy day for me in preparation for the ranked battles. So basically this video is going to be focused on my top 3 picks for cruisers. Cruisers are going to be key. They're definitely going to make a huge difference in ranked battles, especially with destroyers being restricted to 2. So as you can see, the video's fast forwarding. I'm just going to wait and highlight some key things about each ship. So my first pick for cruisers is going to be the Japanese Imperial Navy Aoba. Advantages of this ship: well, it's got hydroacoustic search, which is always a valuable tool. It's got a very long duration spotter plane, long range torpedoes, which could become particularly in handy with the lack of destroyers. Maybe a couple of battleship players are going to end up being sort of less cautious and less aware, and then you sneak some long-range torps at them with the Aoba, and that's definitely going to be surprising. So as you can see, we cap the C flag here, and then we come across the Pensacola. Now this is one of the weak spots of the Aoba. Its side armor is very weak. We get our first salvo off, do just shy of 7,000 damage. And we're going to take a return salvo here from the Pensacola in a second. And yeah, as you can see, we lost over half our hit points straight away. We do get a second salvo off because we've got a reasonably quick reload. So that exchange didn't work out very well for us. We ended up as a deficit of about 5,000 damage. Because it was a silly move. So that's more for educational use. So yes, okay, I know the Omaha's a tier 4. But the Aoba, although its guns aren't the most accurate, they're not as accurate as the French or the American, but they do pack a nice punch when they hit, especially if a cruiser leaves you a broadside like that. It's devastating. Bit of a miscalculation with the Omaha accelerating forward, meaning our third salvo did, well, not very much. But I'm pretty sure, well, we're not going to clear it up. One of our teammates does for us. And then we have the Fear Attacker coming out. Like I see, when it hits hard. Also, a nice long, slender design makes the Aoba a pretty quick ship, that's for sure. And it's also quite nimble, so dodging torpedoes, especially when sort of facing bow on of their directions, is relatively easy. As you can see, our spotter plane has spotted the second set of torpedoes. We haven't even used our hydroacoustic search here, and some badly timed salvos means we do very little damage to a broadside Fear Attacker. That could be because of I should have noticed I didn't pay attention in the top corner. Rewind it a little bit. They could have quite possibly been over penetrations. And essentially, that's all the interesting things out of this battle. Here is one of the real strengths of the Aoba. It's got a very slender, very low profile design, and quite a strong bow. It lends itself particularly well to bow tanking. We're going to continue fast forwarding this at times too, because it's not the epic interesting battle. It's just me bow tanking, popping it in reverse, and setting fire to a Congo repeatedly. It's pretty good at setting fires if you set it up right. Obviously, as you can see, that Congo put his fire out. He returns shots at us, and as you can see, most of them are missing. One damaged a torpedo tube, which has already been repaired. One problem with the torpedoes is the launching angle. I haven't actually used torpedoes in this match, but the Oba can only really launch whilst kiting away from your target due to the torpedo angle and the torpedo spread on it. So that is one thing to take into consideration if you do plan to focus on using the Oba's torpedoes. You do need to be pretty aware that that you do need to be facing away, and obviously we've seen what happens if you show a bit too much broadside in this ship against that Pensacola. It hurt us real bad, real quickly, and we get a high caliber, 106, 107,000 damage. It keeps on totting up. It's a very versatile ship. It is particularly strong when played correctly. My second pick is going to be the Kriegsmeer, I think you pronounce it. The Germans, the German Nuremberg. Everyone should be fairly familiar with this ship. It was kind of controversial when it first came out because of its poor firing angles. But I don't think many people understood that this ship specialises in kiting away. The advantages of kiting away, obviously you're firing shells at a ship heading towards you, so your shells have to travel less distance. Because they're firing away from them to hit you, they're actually firing a further distance. So you've got the advantage of having a fire a shorter range, and that obviously, as we all know, at shorter range you're more accurate. So we take a couple of hits there as we focus on setting fire to the Queen Elizabeth. Obviously, the Nuremberg does have torpedoes. It can fire 6. It can fire either off both sides or 3 torpedoes off each side, making it a pretty versatile. But they are very short range torpedoes, and obviously anyone that's aware, the Nuremberg has lower caliber guns, but they're very fast firing, and just absolutely love setting fire to every single ship they come across. And probably, in all fairness, I probably should have sped this section up here. I think I meant to, actually. It's a slight error in editing, but it's alright, we'll stick with it. So, as you can see, this is one of the weaknesses, really. As I said, the ship is very strong at kiting away because of the rear turret setup. But that can leave you out in the open and away from the battle, taking you out of the game. And in ranked battles, this could be crucial. This could be key when you've got your cruisers setting fire to the battleships, antagonising them. That antagonistic approach, I think, will cause a lot of battleships to focus on a kiting away ship and miss out on opportunities on your friendly battleships, or give your friendly destroyers time to come in and drop some torpedoes. As you can see, the broadside against other lightly armoured cruisers, if you've got the broadside and use AP, we were a little unfortunate there, but the first salvo, as you can see, it can do some very significant damage. And as you can see, we're kiting away. We've taken hardly any shots, and we took that cruiser down from full health. So yeah, the correct use of this ship can make a absolutely huge difference. I'm really sorry. I don't know if that's going to come through on the mic, but I'm going to have to look at my chair, because as soon as I move, it makes a awful squeaking sound, which I'll have to apologise for. So yeah, see, and again, so we've kited away a cruiser. Yes, we successfully killed him. We took very little damage, but now we've got to take the time to push forward and get back into the fight again, which is the big weakness of the Nuremberg. It really is. We all know it's got an awful angle for getting all 3 turrets firing at the same time. You've got to expose an awful lot of broadside as we start antagonising this Queen Elizabeth. Now, even if you only get the chance to take 1 or 2 salvo shots at a ship, particularly in the cruisers, you should, because if you force them to burn their repair kit, the next person that hits them with high explosive is going to burn longer, cause more damage. Or if a destroyer is going to get in there and cause some flooding, obviously they won't be able to repair. And he's obviously used his repair kit, so now he's exposed for the next minute and a half where he's stuck. He can't repair, and unfortunately he's gone undetected, and nobody's able to do that. And again, kited away. Now we've got that delay of getting back into the battle and trying to get some more damage. We have 2 enemy ships remaining, that Queen Elizabeth and a pesky little destroyer, which we will be introducing ourselves to very, very shortly. And there we go, he's popped up, he's detected. Obviously a cruiser against a destroyer, unless it's the Americans, you know, and they're ready and they're waiting for you, is always going to be a relatively swift battle. As you can see, this is another weakness. We don't want to be going broadside to a destroyer, because if he fires torpedoes, we're making ourselves an easy target. But only being able to fire 1 gun, obviously we fired up hydroacoustic search, so we've got a nice bit of notice before those torpedoes come at us. But having to give so much broadside to get more than your front turret working is, it's not ideal. It really isn't, especially in a lightly armoured cruiser. So this is where we're going to take advantage of the torpedoes. We're still keeping it sped up. It's predominantly the Queen Elizabeth's got its guns facing completely the wrong direction. It's going to take it about a month to swing those round, but our torpedoes are going to hit him and finish him off well before that. So a versatile ship, a great ship for kiting, but the negative sides are when you're sort of trying to go bow in, when you're hunting down destroyers, your guns are limited, and also kiting away the battleships where you don't want to be receiving broadside damage for can leave you out of the battle for some time. And my final pick, and quite possibly, I'll be honest, when I go in cruisers, this is definitely going to be my pick, the French Premium Tier 5, the de Grassi. More versatile, I would say. We've got damage control, hydroacoustic search, we've got a spotter plane, or fighter plane. It's a spotter, let's be honest, that's what it does. But we also have the speed boost, which is really good for hunting down destroyers, because you can keep pace. Destroyers cannot run away from you in this ship, which we'll see a little bit later on in this battle. And also very good for getting yourself out of trouble. If you find yourself in a bit of a sticky spot, you've got a few too many ships shooting at you, quite simply turn tail and get the hell out of there. I found the de Grassi, if you set them up with Lemonnier and focus on fires, this ship will set fires with, I'd like to say every single salvo, but most salvos. We decided to test it out here. We've got fires, we're not doing any more fire damage really. Could we do any damage with our armor piercing? And well, no, not really. So on battleships you want to focus on high explosive, that's for sure, as we're looking here to cause some damage and hunt down some destroyers. Obviously this is a 4 destroyer per team match, which you're not going to see in ranked battles. But destroyers are obviously going to be key. They're going to be key for spotting, so you do need your cruisers to be on top of it. They need to have their spotters out. They need to be hunting down these destroyers and getting rid of them, and then focus on antagonizing the battleships to allow your destroyers and your battleships to get in a position to cause some significant damage. Not that the de Grassi can't cause significant damage by itself, but it really is support. It's a support role ship. You need to have friendlies in the vicinity, attracting damage and taking the focus off you, because its armor's pretty weak. We're well aware it's a French light cruiser. Other cruisers are probably the most dangerous thing that you need to look out for. Battleships, as much damage as they can do, even if they catch you broadside, because your armor's so thin, you can end up getting a lot of over penetrations, so you will take damage, but it's significantly reduced. So as you can see, this kamikaze's popped up, so we've hit our speed boost. Now everyone knows how fast the kamikaze is, but it's no faster than it is faster than the Grassi. The kamikaze is probably one of the only destroyers that could, at tier 5 or below, that could outrun it. But if he turns to fire off his torpedoes, he's reducing his speed, and he's going to be quite weak. We're going to take 2 torpedoes here from him, the sneaky little bugger, but we're going to focus on hunting him down. So we've got our spotter plane up. Our speed boost is still running. And unlike the Nuremberg, and about the same as the Oba, in a chasing down situation, or bow tanking, not that I suggest bow tanking in the de Grasse, but if you have to, you have 2 forward turrets, so you do have an advantage. Yes, the de Grasse can kite. It's got very good angles with its 2 forward turrets when kiting away. Obviously, you do need to give a bit of angle. It's not quite as good as the Nuremberg in that respect. So we're going to continue raining some hate down on the battleships as we get to see them. See, first salvo, no fire. Second salvo, maybe on our third salvo, we get a fire, and then we see a gauge just popping into his smoke screen. The gun reload time on the de Grasse is awesome. Obviously, the guns are quite low caliber, so HE is going to be your predominant damage dealer. But with the accuracy, if you know where the citadels are on the ships, on cruisers, and they're within 7 kilometers, stick the armor piercing on, and you can cause some really quick and really significant damage. And the de Grasse is also very mobile, so turning away and reducing the damage is quite possible. As you see, we took a nasty broadside. I believe that was from the Warships, reducing us down to a little under 4,000 hit points as we fail and miss to finish off the guide. I did have a friend of me, a German friend of mine, tell me the correct pronunciation. And see, the Warships is still trying to finish us off. He's behind the island. We've turned to make ourselves unavailable, and with our first salvo, we set fire to the New Mexico again, and we're actually going to pick up that kill through our fires. So we are now down to 3 of us against the Warships. This is going to end pretty quickly. You see, he's duking it out with our battleship. We look for the potential to fire some torpedoes at him. Yes, the de Grasse also has torpedoes. I believe it fires 3 off each side of the ship. I could be wrong. If I am, pop it in the comments. I'm doing this video on the fly. I've been thinking about it the last couple of days since Ranked Battles was announced, and I've been playing the ships quite a lot, and I don't want to get them confused and screw up, and I want to get these videos out, so I don't want to be spending an extra hour or 2 checking to make sure all the stats are right on every single ship as we pick up our high caliber on the Warships. And you can see them sailing down there. It's 2 torpedoes that we can fire from each side of the ship. And as you can see, we were on 64,000 damage when that Warspite was spotted. He was pretty much full health. We're on 105,000 damage as we get sunk, and we've got a points lead. Our destroyer almost gets himself killed there, and we're going to speed this right up because we just want to get to the end plates. So yeah, that's my choices. Yes, I know there's other tier 5s. There's the Grassi, but let's be honest, the Grassi is more flexible with the speed boost. Obviously, the Grassi has the speed boost, but it doesn't have the spotter aircraft, which is going to be key in ranked battles. And we've missed out the Pensacola because its turret traverse is too slow. It's not going to give you time to react to any situation that could come up, and you find yourself a lot of the time turning the ship to get the gun around. You expose your broadside. Everyone knows the Pensacola is made out of citadels, and you're going to be gone. So I hope you found this video informative, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all throughout the next 2 weeks in ranked battles, and of course anyone on Xbox who's going to come in to contact us thanks to the release of crossplay. There will be another 2 videos out today, hopefully. As long as I get time, we're going to have a look at my top 3 picks for battleships and cruisers. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and until next time, take care.